All right, welcome back to Series E as we might finally have the breakaway for our squads heading into the final game of the evening for our first pro night of Season 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile 1 leaderboard to see exactly what happens. And there it is, Team Liquid now with a massive lead over TSM, 33 points ahead. And it would have to be a monumental effort by either TSM or Season, who are the closest to try and challenge Team Liquid to win out this one. And really, that would have to start off by like dropping on them and taking them out within the first minute of the game, Tom.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of change exactly what you're doing to drop such a phenomenal game, but it's fairly rare for this to happen. So it's kind of a victory lap for Team Liquid going into the final game. It's the battle for second place now. TSM, Season, Navi, and then everybody kind of sitting around 30 points has an opportunity to kind of make a splash here, but we'll see what happens. I mean, TSM, they're getting 50-50'd by Cooler. You have Team Cheez It who's getting 50-50'd as well. Let's take a look at the Mobile One High Performance moment of the last game and find out exactly what it was. It's a little bit of a sneaky play from Team Liquid, and you can see the difference in the low profile right there. Old Pathfinder would have been ripped for a lot more than that.
Yeah, and what timing coming out from Nocturnal as well. As the Pathfinder tries to back away, mid reload as well. Nocturnal going for the peak, doing some decent damage. It was a 2v3, but Team Liquid still playing this methodically and just getting the W here. Full sending as a 3-man, covering Kuya, forcing him back as Strafe was able to fully heal up, but it's still a 1v3. And without a PK, the Wingman Volt is not what you use for a 1v3 at that point. Team Liquid ultimately win out game number 5, and with TSM going down early, losing their 50-50 in game number 5 up against Cooler, have been punished absolutely. So Liquid now with a 33-point lead, running away with this one at this point. Like you said, just taking a victory lap for game number 6.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nice for them to run around and win on this Bangalore too. It's an orthodox pick coming through with Nocturnal, and it's starting to pay off. And sometimes you need a little bit of a switch like that to get the vibes going, as Hal looks like he's going to trade out with Yuki and Nasky. So we have the 2-on-2 going on with TSM. Meanwhile, Razer during Razer Week in absolute shambles right now. Epicenter is probably my least favorite place to go in 50-50. We'll see what Team Razer is able to do.
They have no HP. There's like 50 HP between the three of them. Jazz is able to get the knock there. Balon G traded back though. Zeratricky the last one alive with about 15 HP left in the back pocket. So if we can swap on over to his view to see exactly what's going on there. He's able to get the scan down and spots him out. As there we go, on to Zeratricky. The thirst is there, and fortunately for him though, it's a little bit far, so he's not going to be able to get their armor swap. As Intel versus Team Cheez It, Prodigy Ace is the only one alive for Team Cheez It here. He does have that armor swap, but it's a 1v3 wingman scout. It's going to take some crazy outplays, but up against the Gibraltar, he only gets the one knock before he goes down. Team Intel, they get the final win of the 50-50 at the end of the day, and Zeratricky is actually able to win up that fight for Team Razer up against Third Impact. Already down to 17 squads. Make that 16 squads as Cooler. Go ahead and put that nail in the coffin for TSM there, and so they're not going to have any opportunity to fight back into this one. And here's the other 50-50 taking place. 303 versus Pop-Tarts. What?
It's non-stop all over the place right now for all of these teams, and I'm surprised that Zeratricky was able to win that one through all this, but let's see what happens with Team Pop-Tarts, as they did get a couple of knocks there onto 303. This is just absolutely insane right now. I'm surprised anyone even has any healing, how fast they're absolutely fighting. Ping is going down. That's one of the best things that a teammate could do, is he's down on the ground, is just ping where that player is. Gibraltar shield going to be ripped apart. There goes the bubble. There goes the res as well, and now Impulse is back in the game.
They're third party. Nades are coming in. Oh boy, they have to get out of there. They still have to chase after this one final member too, and there it is. Oh, not getting the kill yet. Aski actually gets the knock onto Lucas, and he tries to cover the door, goes for the peek, leaves it wide open. Here comes SZA for the third party. Pop-Tarts will not have an opportunity to celebrate that victory on the 50-50 win. Z Davis will get the thirst onto Lucas there. They're the ones that pick up all of this loot now. Sung is also on that Octane, by the way, and so this should just be full W key for them, as it looks like they're making their next move. We're already down to 15 squads, 44 players remaining as they give chase for this final squad, it looks like, and I don't know if they'll be able to catch up to him. It's pretty far. Never mind. There he is. Stomps goes down, and he's instantly thirsted. So we should have a Tomcat Rat Cam very shortly.
And if you think that Sung's not going to be able to catch anybody in this lobby, well, he's playing on Octane, so there's no getting away if they do end up giving chase. Team Liquid with their typical rotation coming outside of Trials. Albarelli on gold armor is just such a scary thing. Again, when you go over Trials and you give these guys maybe a gold bag on Nocturnal, this time it looks like it's a gold helmet. The armor onto Albarelli, they're just going to completely zoom throughout the entire lobby now. Let's see what the combination is. It's going to be triple take Volt coming in from Nocturnal. Not that bad of a combo again. Just a little bit of a victory lap. Team Liquid, 81 points through 5 games. That's insane.
Yeah, this is going to be a leisurely stroll into the next ring for them, under no pressure whatsoever. Again, one of their closest competitions for this final game was TSM, but remember, TSM were tied at 48 points, so they needed to kill about half the lobby and get the W here. So Team Liquid are just going to play this extremely slowly, cover all their bases, do all the crafting that they need, and loot every last ounce of loot here in Skyhook.
And they're playing very seriously. Looks like they want to try to get the W and try to maybe break 100 points. That's the goal for any type of team, especially only playing 6 games. So I like that Team Liquid's not running around, not full sending it. There's no like Revenant Octane combination. Now we do see where the zone's pulling, and we can start to see where these teams are starting to set up. Applejack setting up next to Solifide, and this is pulling Thermal Station. So kind of starting how we ended, not that surprising.
We're having a Lurk play over there. CLG now making the rotation through, made their way through Train, and now they're going to be over at Harvester. Triple purples for Vaxlu and Madness here. As, yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of days for CLG as well, but still some consistent performances coming out throughout, and we got to see them having some great team fights. Rockstar, again, still testing the waters, trying to figure out what composition they like best, or maybe they do run variable compositions throughout the rest of this season here, just to figure out what really works for them for any given situation, Tom.
Well, if you're switching, that means that whatever you're doing isn't working. So there's been flashes here and there. I just don't know if switching every single game is the best way. Every game is so different. It's also situational. Game 6, people don't even try the same that they do in game number 1. So I personally would just like to see, again, Matt Pickett stick on a certain legend and figure out which legend that is, because it's impossible to master anybody if all you're doing is going back and forth. So Team Pringles, SCN, everybody setting up over towards this tree side. A couple grenades going to be tossed. Looks like that Arcstar going to miss, that Thermite going to miss as well. Looks like it actually connects just for a little sliver of 27. Problem is, when you toss all those Arcstars, you can't really run through it. But for some reason, that team stays in the corner. That's going to be Bird from Rice Krispies. Bird for sure. He was sitting there like a sitting duck.
Yeah, Rambo. Just able to spray through and take them out. Don't really see, Team Rice Krispies just crumble like that as Team Pop-Tarts. Oh, was Lucas able to get the reses for his squad? As Cooler are picking them off, though. So with still 15 squads, 41 players remaining, Pop-Tarts are still in this, but Team Pringles now taking the fight to NPL. Spitfire from, I don't know where, but they get the first knock onto Dracos.
Yeah, Dracos going to go down. Let's start scrolling through and see where some of these fights are, because looks like no third party is going to come through on towards SDN anytime soon. Rockstar getting into a little bit of duel over towards the side, and what do you know? If you had to say, Jamerson, if you had to close your eyes and say where Team Rockstar was after rotating from round 1, where do you think they'd be?
I mean, typically you should be in zone, but I mean, the last couple of days, it's been a lot of these train rotates for them. So far, SZA in a fight, they've already lost out on Sung over here at No Name, as they're backing away from the safe zone of the ring currently. Z Davis is forced to pop that bat. Fortunate for him, he was 11 damage away. It was literally just one more shot, one more bullet from that R301 he was carrying to be able to get that. But it looks like they'll have to give up on Sung, unfortunately, and make their way through Geyser throughout all of this, just tanking the ring. Oh,
Yeah, and Cooler doing a great job gatekeeping throughout all that too, so I really like that. But here's the fight. It's going to be probably Rockstar over towards the train side taking on Team Liquid, where Team Liquid actually used to land before they picked up Alpharelli and before Trials was a thing. So we'll see what Team Liquid's going to do. Remember fighting Team Liquid with Casper numerous times over towards this train side, and that team is dipping out. Looks like a portal from Tech. Nocturnal on the case. They know where the portal is. Nade's going to land. Looks like they're going to go back through the portal, though, and I see Nade's even coming from that other side, so there could be 2 teams here.
yeah, how that arc didn't stick, I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be landing square on top of him. Flanker gets the first knock in this fight, taking out Tech, gives them the 3v2 advantage. The scan comes out from the other side as they just try to full commit onto this one. Crummy will fall. Matt Piggott only finds the one, slides on through, but he has Nocturnal in his way. Nocturnal, surprisingly, missing a lot of his shots there, but hey, ultimately, you're going to have Albraleli there to clean that one up. They got the fast res as well, along with the golden backpack. So they'll be able to just fully heal up. And, you know, at this point, it is all but over. Team Liquid should be getting the victory tonight. Ooh, Dell turns around with the help with his squad. It gets that knock on to Panders over here during the rotate. And now they've got the man advantage. They lose out on one as Metro picks that one up. But Team Intel will go down. They get the res. CLG in a fight over here at Tree, though, making their way on in. And, oh my god, Max. The hell happened to him? Oh boy. CLG, they were in a great spot. Now they're not, as Madness is forced to bat. He does go for that peak after he pops that one off, but again, his shield has gone once more. Vaxlon is going to go ahead and throw down that scan, giving him valuable time to hit that med kit and then start to advance forward. Ballsy play. This might actually catch them off guard. Let's have the Mastiff out. Might go for the peak. Here comes another scan. Now he's going to try and go for that peak. Hits for the 60 on the purple, but he does have the drone giving away his position here. He will continue to charge forward and wants to hunt down the rest of this squad. At the very least, he picks up the banner of Lou, and we'll have the opportunity, if they wanted, to back away to the back end of Tree to try and get him back into the game.
Yeah, they may have a portal that could extend. We'll see if he pings down to see exactly how far it is. It's 130 meters, so the portal goes 100 meters. A couple more steps, and I'm sure that your boy Madness is going to set that one. But at what cost? Multiple teams going to be in the vicinity to pounce on this one. Team Pringles, one of those teams that are posturing over here towards Tree. Love to have the Spitfire with only 30 shots. That's my favorite thing in the world.
Boney will back away to pop that bat. As, yeah, we're down to 11 squads as round 2 starts closing, 27 players remaining as well. The scan comes out and they do spot out a squad to their north holding that building, and so this should just be a lot of posturing by squads, poking away armor checks and the like, as well as picking up this loot, so they will be able to get that off of season for now. Still wondering if the res has gone down yet. We're at 11 squads and 27 players. Hard to tell with these numbers at this point. Hopefully we can swap things around to take a look at everyone's perspective throughout all of this. As, yeah, we're going to reach that mid-game lull. Never mind. Oh my goodness. Zeratricky getting melted there. Muffin does throw down that bubble, but he's lost out on one more. Hakulo's the only one left now, as he's just not able to hit those shots, and he will go down. Cooler just full sending this lobby. Now we'll be able to get the res onto Dell.
Cooler not really caring about anything at this point. 7 kills right now for Yuki, looking extremely strong. 1,000 damage. This is a big snowball right now that nobody is really stopping. There goes the Phoenix kit coming in for Sir Dell. Lots of loot over towards the side, and should be a fairly rotation with only easy rotation with only 10 squads. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did maybe meet some resistance over towards the edge of Tree, but they should have a couple different opportunities to go and rotate. You do have Sir Dell with the portal if he wants to go and put anywhere in a certain spot, so we'll see what their positioning is and how they want to play this one. Still a minute and 30 seconds to move too.
Yeah, they do have access to high ground as well with Yuki on that horizon. And they were pinging that. Solafide are in the fight over here up against Flanker and Liquid. Liquid, they don't need to win this one out. They've basically secured their spot at this point with the additional kills along with the, 2 placement points that they got at this point. So losing this fight against Solafide doesn't really mean much to them, but hey, Nocturnal is still going to stick this one out, gain that knock with that triple take. But Nasky is here for the third party with Cooler. Flanker has gone down, been thirsted, and even though the black hole is pumping, they've got no one in it. They still clean up the remnants of Team Liquid as Yuki Takes a big shot there, has to back off and heal up. Nasty swapping on over to the red Evo. They lose out on Dell. Throughout all of that, it's going to be Aves to pick up the kill here. They have the bubble res. They do have the bubble, and there's the res. Very shortly. There we go. Gold bag res to bring Dell back into things.
Yeah, very nicely done. Good portal execution. Nasky with no hesitation to go and get that res, and was completely aware from the communication of his teammates that they were going to come through over towards that side. But look at the free roam that you have when the lobby really opens up like this. Typically, there are teams in every little crevice of the map, and there's basically no moving around. Here, Cooler made their way from the edge. Now they're just running around aimlessly, taking fights any which way that they wanted. Spitfire, Eva 8. Oh my gosh, this combo is toxic for Nasky.
9 squads, 20 players left here, as it's going to be a lot of Tomcat Rat Camp, I expect, at this point here for the final moments of this game, as Cooler have the high ground position. They're looking absolutely stacked. Like you said, Nasky with that 3x on the Spitfire. He's got a lot of ammo behind it as well. Team Pringle's one of the few teams left here that are still full squatted up. They make the push on to Bambino, taking him on out, and they'll be able to secure the thirst as well as the ring starts closing in. But they start focusing on the ring here, and so they will turn around. Bambino gets finished off, and they have full control over this building, so they're safe for the next minute or so.
Safe for now. That person's not safe. Over to call out the drop ship, but it looks like they already have some armor swaps there, so could be potentially a good fight here. But no, that's just going to be Lou going down immediately. Some really great shots from Phonyhead, and he's got the black hole to deal with as well, as Fury's going to go and toss that one in. They don't even know if they needed that, but they saw it with CLG. See, it's a really skilled team. But guess what? There's more teams inside this building out of nowhere. Phony's going to have to take this fight. They're stuck inside the corner. That's going to be Cooler. Cooler's been hot all game, but they just bit off more than they can chew and ran into Team Pringles, who's popping off inside the building.
Yeah. 7 squads remaining, 15 players left here. Going for the peak is going to be Phony, and they do finish off Madness at the end there. And finally, we have some semblance of what should be sanity for this final circle, or, well, final 2 circles. With 5 squads remaining, 13 players left. We should see players kind of play this a little bit more standard now in the end.
I love seeing Spitfire, Eva 8 meta, man. The 2 most skillful guns that we have in Apex really being utilized in tournament gameplay here. See what our boy Phony's going to do, but if you're wondering if the Mastiff or Eva 8 is stronger, I hope you're realizing after watching these Mastiff hit for 8, 8, and 14, and then 70, but then all of a sudden the Eva 8 just spits out like a Spitfire, a bunch of 70s. It's obvious which gun is better right now and which one may need a little bit of an adjustment. Navi on the outside looking in, still in the zone though. This is what I was expecting as a team to play this high ground over towards that top hand side. Curious to see what team that is. That's a big brain spot. But Team Pringles with a lot of kills over towards the side. One team on the high ground, then Navi down here, and then there's some rats located somewhere around.
Making contact with enemy.
Yeah, Navi, they will have the option if they want to try and take that high. They've got Max Strafey, of course, with that zip line to work with. But, you know, they can bide their time for the time being, as, again, this is what we expected once we finally got to the later stages of this game, for everything to slow down. As they're going to hand around their meds and really keep that equal as possible at this point. You still have the charge rifle for Nash, so I mean, you're talking about, of course, all the skillful guns out there. You're going to add a third one into the mix there, Tom.
Yeah, charge rifle takes the most skill out of all these guns. You can see just how difficult it is to basically shoot at someone not looking at you and then have it directly beam at them like a Spartan laser. But there it is. Guess who is one of the rats? It's our boy, Rat Boy Ronnie.
The Q in. Does he actually make it to the building safe? He doesn't. Oh no. That was
Wow,
the quickest
Ronnie.
nope out of there, but he's gone.
Sliced.
4 squad left.
Slice. The rat has been dispersed of by Tomcat, and you know, Ronnie, that wasn't your best rat performance. We've seen a little bit better. We'll get him next time.
Get him next time, indeed. But yeah, the zone's gonna pull away over. Actually, a pretty decent split for these squads, but Pringles might have the roughest go of things. Might have a sliver of that building in. It's a little hard to tell here. But at the very least, they're tanky for right now. Solafide didn't survive their entire affair. So here's results of Gentrifying and Designful getting cracked. Bubble is forced down early on, and Gentrifying needs to heal up. Designful hitting a Phoenix Kitten. This isn't going to finish in time, does it? The bubble should be going
directly
down.
when the bubble goes away.
Oh my goodness, that's so close. The timing. Oh, there we go. He gets it off. Now he pushes forward here with the scan. Beats the hunt that entire time was not being used, but hey, he has the bubble at the very least. But they've got the cover, but now they are getting naded out. He should be in the range of this arc. Never mind, it actually hits.
That hit for that much?
Jingle. Yeah, I'm surprised too, but he still goes for the peak with that white armor swap. Aves is there, gets the knock onto Resulta. Gentrifying might be the next one to fall as he tries to back away, utilizes that cover of the knock shield, but now he's out in the middle of nowhere as Designful takes the fight up top up against Cube. He goes down. Navi getting into the fray as well. Solafide somehow survive for now. Gentrifying is still alive throughout all of this as Pringles comes in for the third party. It's the final 3 squads remaining. Navi and Solafide are in shambles here as Pringles are looking to take the final win of the day, pushing up against this Gibraltar to take him out. Team Pringles take game number 6.
And the celebration over at the Esports Arena Studios. Now, I mean, that was one of the most impressive games we've seen from Pringles in quite